My name is Larkin Rollings, and I am running for a 3-year seat on the Westwood Planning Board. I grew up in Westwood, and I'm a 1990 graduate of Westwood High School. I earned a Bachelor of Arts from Skidmore College, and I've spent the past 27 years working in software engineering and technology. I have 2 decades experience in project and resource management. My thought process is geared towards problem solving within a set of parameters and achieving results while adhering to the highest standards. I brought my own family back to live here as I want my daughter Adia to have the same excellent education and special sense of community that I experienced. As a child, I watched my mom Barbara serve on the school committee, and she and my late father instilled in my brother and me how very important it is to give back. I've served on the boards of the Friends of the Westwood Performing Arts and the Westwood Young Women's Club. I've volunteered regularly at the Sheehan School and with the PTA. I've also served on the Finance and Warrant Commission, the Town Administrator Search Committee, and the Blue Hills Regional Superintendent Search Committee. For the past 6 years, I have regularly attended meetings of many of our town boards, including the Planning Board, School Committee, Islington Center Task Force, Finance Commission, and the Select Board. I am well versed in the broad array of projects and issues that our boards and staff manage, the people who are involved with those decisions, and I am up to date on where things stand. I have invested a great deal of time in understanding our zoning and town bylaws, and I am well prepared to tackle the responsibilities of a planning board member. I care very much about Westwood, and I want the opportunity to help navigate these issues as part of a team that includes you. I have a deep respect for and understanding of the processes and procedures we use to make decisions, but I'm not afraid to question the status quo. I have advocated for the residents at town meetings. I've researched, written, and sponsored citizen petition articles when residents have wanted changes to our zoning that the board did not take up. I presented the concerns and opinions of every person who reached out to me when I served on the Finance Commission, and I have asked tough questions about the development projects that have divided opinions and visions throughout our town. As a member of the Planning Board, I will work to ensure that progress does not come at too high a cost. While we need to foster growth and economic stability, we need to ensure preservation of our natural and historic resources and carefully consider structural aesthetics. We need to be mindful of existing issues with our traffic challenges, stormwater impacts, and parking concerns, and work to mitigate and not amplify these problems. While in the past Westwood has not been considered development friendly, many residents feel that now the pendulum has swung too far in the opposite direction and at the expense of charm, history, scale, and community priorities. I will advocate for a more proactive approach to zoning and soliciting resident consensus. We have seen many surveys asking for resident input on how we should work to shape our town. It's time we incorporate that feedback into our process. While the board does not initiate projects, we should carefully craft and edit our bylaws to holistically define the direction our community takes. We've heard much discussion of zoning being a tool we use to preserve aspects of our community while improving our town, and I agree, that is exactly how we should be approaching our bylaws. For example, while we currently have a bylaw that covers a 6-month demolition delay on historic buildings, I've spoken to many residents who feel this is insufficient protection of our town's rapidly dwindling inventory of historic properties. I believe we can better leverage our bylaws to strike a balance that allows us to grow responsibly, respectfully, and equitably. The Planning Board also evaluates applications for special development permits. I believe that the process of issuing a special permit should be a negotiation. The board often has leeway to impose conditions, make suggestions, and add requirements to special permits. I will work to ensure that aesthetics, scope, and impacts are always appropriately weighed and that our residents' priorities are given equal consideration when projects and permits are being discussed. If elected, I will leverage all of my experience, both professional and from my previous roles serving our community, to help guide the processes and projects that come before the board. I will always come prepared, ask comprehensive questions, and bring a fresh, creative perspective to the board. Most importantly, I will work to achieve a healthy balance between all of our often competing needs. I'm asking for the opportunity to serve you in our community, and I thank you for your consideration. Whomever you choose to support, please make sure to vote on April 28th. Your voices matter. Thank you.